How's it going, guys? This is David here from PhoneBuff.com, and today I'm going to be reviewing the HTC Amaze 4G available from T-Mobile. So to start off, this guy's a 4.3-inch Super LCD QHD display. That's 960 by 540 resolution on the screen, and on the top of the screen you have a 2.0 megapixel camera. You have your standard 4 capacitive buttons on the bottom for home, menu, back, and search. On the very top of the device you have a 3.5mm headset jack with your power key. On the right side, you have your volume rocker for up and down, and one of my favorite features is the dedicated camera button, but also a dedicated camcorder button. So that's really nice to see. On the left side of the device, you have your micro USB charging port. On the bottom, you have your microphone, and of course on the back, you have your 8 megapixel camera with dual LED flash, and it's capable of taking 1080p video capture with your speaker grill on the very back as well. So that's the hardware tour, a quick hardware tour for you guys. I'm gonna go ahead and run a benchmark while I give you some of the other specs. So we're doing two things at once here. Alright, so on the inside of the device, it has a 1.5 gigahertz dual core processor to Snapdragon S3, and it has 1 gigabyte of RAM. It has 16 gigabytes of internal storage built in with a micro USB card slot, expandable up to 32 gigabytes of additional storage. You have a 1730 milliamp battery, and you have Android 2.3.4, at least right now, running the show, which HTC said they're going to update it to Ice Cream Sandwich whenever that is. So I'll go ahead and let this test run. I'll just skip to the end and give you the results. Alright, so it looks like the benchmark is done. I'll go ahead and hit yes so we can get the results. And for what it's worth, this device scored a 2035, so 2035. So of course this is quadrant and the app hasn't been updated for over a year now, so take it for what it's worth. Of course I think real life performance is a lot better than that. Go ahead and run another benchmark, a 2.2. So go ahead and run the test, and I'll just skip to the end so you guys can see the results. Alright, so it looks like the test is done, scoring a 5,581. I'll go ahead and go to score chart and the bar chart so you can see a comparison. So let me bring this closer to the screen. Right here you can see my device, 5,581, so above phones like the LG Optimus 2X and Evo 3D. And you can see it's just below the Samsung Galaxy S2 and the Galaxy Nexus and devices like that, but pretty good score. And that's kind of the performance you'll get. I mean, I've tested the Galaxy S2, and I'll say this one's a little bit slower than the Galaxy S2, but not by much. So that's a pretty accurate benchmark from my point of view. Alright, so the last benchmark I'll run is the BrowserMark benchmark for the browser. So I'll go ahead and open up the browser, type in BrowserMark, BrowserMark. I'll just go to Google. Alright, BrowserMark. And I'll go ahead and run the test. And again, I'll just skip to the end so you guys can see the results. Alright, so the benchmark is done, and the phone scored a 62,269. So that's my last benchmark that I'll do, and hopefully that gives you a better idea as far as how the device will perform when you get it. Alright, so I want to talk about the look and feel of the device because that's something that really makes it stand out compared to some of the other devices out there. On the front you can see this silver outline, and that goes around all the edges. On the back you have this rubberized material alongside the aluminum casing. So it is a unibody design, so when I take the battery or back cover off, you can see it's just two pieces, but a lot of the internals are on the battery or the back cover itself. So really just gives you a high-end feel. I mean, as soon as I got this device, I just felt like it was, a premium device, and it felt really high quality, especially comparing it to a phone like the Galaxy S2, which has more of a plastic feel. But of course, the plastic makes the phone lighter. This one's a little bit heavier, weighing in at 6.1 ounces, and also makes it a little bit thicker at 11.8 millimeters. But that's the cost that you get with having more of the premium build quality, or at least feel, that you get from the Amaze. Alright, so another thing I want to talk about is the screen. It's a QHD screen, so it has 960 by 540 resolution. If you're comparing it to another T-Mobile phone like the Galaxy S2, you're going to get a lot more clarity on this screen because of the higher resolution. So when you're looking at the text, it's going to look a lot more crisp. When you're in the browser, you're not going to have to zoom in as much to be able to read the text, which kind of makes up for it having a smaller screen size at 4.3 versus 4.5. Screen is very bright. Now it isn't Super AMOLED like the Galaxy S2 is. It's a Super LCD, but from my test, comparing them side to side, it looked pretty good, and I do like the higher resolution on the screen. But the screen isn't really what makes this phone stand out. I really feel like that's the camera, and you can see that from the initial hardware tour that it has a dedicated camera and camcorder button. You can see that the focus this phone has is on the camera. So I'll go ahead and launch the camera up, and I'll try to take a picture of, let's see, I'll just take a picture of this Duracell battery. So let's see if I can get it in here. Alright, so you can see how clear that looks. I'm not sure how well it's going to come through on camera, but what I really like is the close-up shots. When it gets nice and close, the autofocus just gets. So I compared this to some of the other phones, like even the iPhone. This one, you're able to zoom in a little bit closer, and it comes in nice and clear. So definitely a good camera. HTC put a lot of focus on that. And actually, let me show you some of the different modes that they have. So you have your auto shot, and then you have your smart shot, which is used for basically an array of shots combined to create the best photo. At least that's what HTC is saying. The sweep shot's more of a panoramic mode. You have your clear shot, which is made for things that are in bright situations or environments. Burst shot to take a whole bunch of pictures at once. Your night shots to have better low light situations. And let's see, the macro shot's really what can make you zoom in even closer than I was earlier to take a, I took a picture of my fingerprints and it looked great. So just that gives you a better idea as far as how close you can zoom in. And you just have your portrait mode as well. So you have a lot of different options as far as scenes for the camera. And HTC really put a emphasis on the camera, and front-facing camera is 2 megapixels, so it's really good as well. And I mean, I just really love the camera. I can't say enough about it. I'd even say that it's better than the iPhone 4S's camera, at least from my experience testing the two devices. I'm not too sure about the video because I feel like the video quality is a little bit better on the 4S, but the actual picture quality I feel like is better on the HTC Amaze. Alright, so the last thing I want to show you is HTC Sense 3.0, which is running over top of Android on the Amaze. And basically what Sense is it's HTC's custom UI, which adds a lot of features that you normally wouldn't get with a stock ROM, and also makes things a little bit easier to access. For example, on your home screen you can pinch out and you'll have a display of all 7 of your home screens, and you can tap on whatever one you want to jump right to it. So it makes it a little bit easier to go to home screen, especially when you have so many, like 7 on this device. And you could also go the old way by scrolling left and right like you normally would. And what's cool is HTC has this little animation where it'll spin around like that. So it's nice to look at, but as far as functionality, it doesn't really do much. In fact, it actually gets in the way, because sometimes I found over the last 2 weeks that I've been using the device that when I'm trying to scroll from home screen to home screen, sometimes it'll just jump like that when I'm trying to go over one. So it can get annoying or get in the way sometimes, but like I said, I like to pinch out and go to home screen like that, unless I'm going over just one where I make sure I go slow. But overall, I do like the layout of the home screens. If I go to the app tray, one thing I'll say is normally I don't like vertical app trays like this because it's kind of hard to track what app you're looking at. You just have like one long list, but HTC has done a good job by separating that and making them pages like you would get with a horizontal layout. So you can see there's 4 pages right here that I'm scrolling through, and it makes it a lot easier to find the app you're looking for, especially when you get familiar with the device. So not only does it have that, but it has a frequent tab, which shows you your top 20 apps that you use most often. You can also go to the downloaded tab and see what apps you've downloaded from the market yourself. And we'll go ahead and look at the notification bar. So you have your recent 8 apps that you've used, similar to the way that you'd see when you press and hold home. But it's nice to have right here in the notification bar and scroll through them. Makes it really easy to switch tasks while you're in them. And you could also go to quick settings here at the very bottom right, which gives you toggles for Wi-Fi, your hotspot, mobile network, Bluetooth, GPS, and your settings. And right here it says total memory, and what it is a task manager, which will show you your open apps, which I don't have any right now, but it'll show you open apps and also show you how much RAM your phone is currently using. So you can free up your RAM just by hitting kill all and closing those applications in the background. So that's pretty much what you'll see as far as the HTC Sense layout goes out. I want to show you the personalized tab that you get on here. So you have the option to do scenes, which is something that unique that you'll see on an HTC phone that you normally won't see on other phones. And basically what scenes are is custom layouts of your home screen, and you could actually save them or switch them. For example, right now on T-Mobile's scene, I'll go to this play theme or scene. Yeah, basically it's like a theme, should I say, but they call it scene. So anyway, now you can see my whole home screen layout is different from what it was before. So it's pretty cool, especially if you're want to customize like one scene for work, one scene for home, and one scene for road trip or whatever. So that's a cool feature. It's nice to see that customizable option. And then of course you could do skins, which lets you change the color scheme of the phone. So I'll just put burgundy, so that way everything I press on it, or when I press a button, it'll highlight in burgundy. So I'll show you what I mean. Go ahead and tap on so you can see it's all burgundy. So close out of that. Alright, so let's go back to the personalized tab, and you can see you also have the option for your wallpaper and lock screen. You have your normal options like widget, apps, shortcuts, and folders that you could add to your home screen. And then your sound options like your ringtone, notification sound, and alarm. So you could access this again by pressing the little button right here, or you could press and hold anywhere on an empty spot on your home screen and it'll bring it up. So it's a nice little feature that HTC has on here, and lets you really personalize your phone to the way you like it. Alright, so some of the apps that come preloaded with Sense are apps like FriendStream and flashlight and clock giving you the alarm, a world clock, a timer, and a stopwatch. You have flashlight, which is a normal flashlight app, but it gives you 3 different levels of brightness for the LED on the back, which is pretty nice. I mean, works better than any of the flashlight apps out there, at least for this phone. And you also have apps like HTC Hub and HTC Likes. You have your preloaded T-Mobile apps like My Account and T-Mobile TV HD, Video Chat by Quick, and of course Visual Voicemail. So everything you have is pretty much installed on the phone. Of course, you have the Android market, and overall, I have to say I really do like Sense. Like I said, it gives you a feeling of customization. You can personalize the phone to however you like, and I do like the way the app tray works and how everything's all organized. Alright, so that's pretty much it on the HTC Amaze 4G. I've really enjoyed this phone over the last 2 weeks that I've been testing it, and I feel like this phone is really made for those of you who are looking for a top-notch camera on a smartphone with premium build quality and fast speeds, because it really delivers on all 3 areas, especially with the build quality and the camera. Just by looking at it, you can tell that HTC put a lot of work into it with a dedicated camcorder and camera buttons. You can see even from the lock screen I could access it by pressing and holding on it, so you'll never miss any of your moments with this phone. Build quality is great, and of course you're on that T-Mobile 4G network. And like I said, that's pretty much it. If you're looking for more information, hit the link below in the description box for the full review. And that's it for me. This is Dave from PhoneBuff.com. Thank you for watching the video.